All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. This is the second race in the Super Metroid Randomizer Multi-Cat Tournament. This week I drew 64-bit Link, and the logic in this one is going to be Major Minor with a boss shuffle and light area. So just a quick explanation of the logic. Major Minor basically just swaps all majors between the other major locations and energy tank locations. There is a small change where the energy tank next to high jump has been marked as a minor, and the super on the right side and the wreck ship is marked as a major. That's just to provide a little more balance as far as item locations go. The boss shuffle is pretty self-explanatory. Bosses are going to be shuffled. The one thing that you'll know for sure with boss shuffle is at least you can't draw vanilla bosses with this. It's always going to be random. Now that's something I think is kind of silly, and it should allow for bosses to be vanilla, because technically that is a random result you could draw. But right now that is not in the logic, so there will always be at least two bosses moved around. It's not a guarantee that they're all moved, but they all can't be the same either. Light area. This one, I think I mentioned this for the last logic when it was full area. I like full area more. Light area does give you a bit more direction sometimes. So just a quick explanation of light area. So there's 5 different transitions out of criteria. One of them is into G4 or terrain. It's called G4 because the hallway or whatever. That G4 transition will always be off of criteria. Light area basically just means, each area, it's still the same transition doors as full area. The difference being is that each area will only transition to other areas it was originally connected up to, which is why G4 will always be off of criteria. Lower Norfair will always be off of Upper Norfair. Crocomire will always be off Upper Norfair. Kraid's always off Upper Norfair. So it can give you some direction. So, like for instance, if you've checked 4 doors in criteria, and you haven't found G4, the 5th door that you haven't checked is going to be where terrain is. So that's kind of an explanation of light area. You'll see it in process here during this race. But overall, I started 1-0. I'm not overly happy with how I played in that seed, over an hour and 30. So I am very grateful and thankful I got that win. This week versus 64-bit Link, I'm a bit more confident this week. Not because I feel better than 64-bit Link. Where it was pretty obvious the first week I was really rusty. I had practiced a lot of the strats or whatever, some of the ones I tried to pull off. Between these two, I practiced a lot more of the smaller little strats to make sure I had those down. I only did one practice seed, I believe. But overall, I was just practicing individual strats versus, doing whole runs. So I feel better. This week, I feel better. I put in some actual, decent effort into, improving. And I guess we'll see if that pays off, because we'll go ahead and get into the race here. I will be back afterward again, and from this point on, all the races that I partook in did get a restream. So the commentary and the trackers, all that will be there and working. And yeah, I will see you after the race.
Hello everyone, exciting race of the Super Metroid Randomizer Multi-Category Tournament 2022. I am your host, Sub316, and today our winners are ShyGuy and 64-bit Link. This will be a pretty interesting race. I believe that both of these runners are 0-1 currently, but both of them are relatively strong runners, I would say. So I think this will be a fun one. The mode for this week is light area major minor boss randomizer, which means with light area, that means that every section of the game features the same areas that it transitions to. So for example, criteria normally would have 2 green Brinstar transitions, a wreck ship transition, a red Brinstar transition, and a Torian transition. And it still has all of those, but where those transitions are and where they go to may be completely different, and it looks like the runners are off. So, Morph Ball will be one of the first two items. It'll either be on the pedestal or in the ceiling. And then from there, everything else is basically randomized. Oh, this is a 1-0 match. Okay, cool. My bad. And will we have a vanilla Morph Ball this time? It looks like we do not. We have Spring Ball instead. Spring Ball, another great item. Somewhat controversial item, but I think it is fantastic. Allows you to get through Suitless Meridia much more easily than if you didn't have it. Lets you get out of Precious Room regardless of what boss is there, if you have all the other items. And of course we have Morph Ball at the ceiling E-Tank, as it had to be there. Shy Guy having a little bit of trouble with this. We'll see if he, goes for this backup with the Geemer. And gets it. Nice. That D-boost is really annoying, even for experienced runners. I think it is a little bit difficult to be super consistent at that, but looks like we just have missiles and supers, so no power bombs to be able to check behind Morph. They're gonna have to go to Bomb Torizo, and then if Bomb Torizo isn't anything, then they're gonna have to go to the right of the ship. So we'll see some divergence at some point, but just not yet. Or we'll probably see some divergence. It's not necessarily guaranteed we will. And I know that 64-bit Link likes to do ledge grab climb. I'm not sure what Shy Guy likes to do, but we'll find out. Looks like he likes to do the wall jump climb. So having two different versions of climb here. Looks like 64-bit Link making it up first. And Shy Guy not too far behind. Nothing super interesting going on this early part of the game, just basically seeing what items are available, where transitions will lead, in order to make more interesting decisions later. And high jump boots, that's a good item, but it doesn't let us go anywhere other than straight to the right of the ship, so that's where both runners will have to head. And we'll see if either runner decides to take off high jump boots for this Alcatraz. 64-bit Link gets the first try though, and Shy Guy did too, so no problems there. We'll see if either runner decides to take a save at the ship. I tend to skip the save here, just because you're forced to go this way, so it can't, well, it can end up really badly, but generally it won't end up badly, so I just don't bother with the save, but there are some things that would make you want that save. If you end up at the top of Meridia and one crab hit equals death, then you definitely want that save. And we have green Brinstar, so nothing scary yet. And that couldn't end up in Meridia. What am I saying? I'm thinking of full area. I guess it could end up at, like, the top of Red Tower, and then force you into the top of Meridia. Maybe that's what I was thinking. I think I've had a seed like that before, but... And the tube is not a power bomb, so we are still without power bombs at this point. We'll see how long that lasts. These seeds can really withhold those power bombs for a long time sometimes. And there's Red Tower. Okay, that's interesting. And each of the runners making different decisions. I think I kind of prefer 64-bit Link's decision here. You're going to end up going through Red Tower at some point anyway. And I think getting all of the green Brinstar items is a little more important, especially because you're still looking for power bombs, and Red Tower is most likely not going to help you on that front. I also think that if I were checking Red Tower, I would really want to check that other transition. You obviously can't check the tube transition because you don't have power bombs, but you can check the other one. Okay, but if this makes sense, yeah, just checking this and then leaving. I was thinking if you're going all the way up, but yeah, this makes sense too. I actually don't dislike this then. Even though it ended up just being a reserve tank. And yeah, kind of surprising that Shy Guy picks up that reserve, as I think he has stated before that it is a moral obligation not to pick those up, but... So yeah, either Spore Spawn is forced, or going through this one of these Red Tower transitions is forced. No idea which, but you cannot make it through the left side, to the left side of Green Brinstar without either Screw Attack, Speed, Bombs, Power Bombs. Yeah, I think that's all. And there's the bottom of West Meridia, Crab Hole. It's also possible at Power Bombs, first Power Bombs, or at Alpha Power Bombs. And Alpha Power Bombs... I think at this point, Alpha Power Bombs can't soft lock you. Because any Meridia entrance, you can get back to that, Crab Hole from any Meridia entrance with high jump. No, it actually could soft lock you, now that I think about it. If the Crateria entrance were behind Morph, and the other entrance was deep in Norfair, then you could get soft locked, or anywhere in Norfair for that matter. Anyways, Shy Guy making his way through Spore Spawn. We'll get to see whether those are the first power bombs, or if they're somewhere else. I think Spore Spawn has the same amount of HP as Kraid. I think both have 1,000. Shy Guy just missing that, Moonfall, and it's just missiles, so nothing there. I didn't see what was at that, transition for 64-bit Link. Having a little bit of trouble with Red Tower. Can be a little tricky with all these rippers and whatnot. Takes out a couple of those rippers. That guy getting a little low on health. And now we'll see if first power bombs are at alpha power bombs. It's also possible first power bombs could be in Meridia. At somewhere like Crab Supers. Shy Guy finding that same crab hole transition. And it's just supers at alpha power bomb, so first PBs are not there. We'll see what other options 64-bit Link has here. The high jump boot should not enable the hole in the wall, I don't think. But that is a good question. I hope that they don't. Not even because of Mama Turtle. Mama Turtle is pretty easy to avoid if you don't shoot anything. And here's the top of Meridia, so that might be what we have to go through. Okay, and that entrance was just Norfair. And we have another Meridia entrance, so I think it kind of has to be Crab Supers, unless that Spore Spawn, or that Mama Turtle item in the wall is in logic. Oh my gosh, Shy Guy, don't die to the Vile Plume. Okay, Shy Guy gets back up to 48 health. Now he'll see the same. Yeah, I guess Spring Ball plus high jump, yeah. You can get that Mama Turtle item, that's hilarious. I think I've had first power bombs in Meridia before, even without Spring Ball. And maybe even without high jump, like going from getting this transition that 64-bit Link just went through. But I don't remember for sure that those were like the only ones available. So it looks like 64-bit Link isn't thinking about Crab Supers. I think you really should check Crab Supers here. There are only 2 miners left, I think, available to you, and that's one of them. If you're not used to doing these, though, it can be a pretty easy item not to think about. It needs to do a crouch jump and then duck. You probably didn't even need to duck there. Now we'll see Shy Guy doing the same thing. Yeah, any hit from anything here for Link is just death. It doesn't matter really how much more health he gets from these enemies. Whew. Just barely avoided that. And we will get to see Crab Supers, though. Here on MST's side. So we'll see if this is the right decision. And it's not. Wow. So it is Mama Turtle. That's insane. You know what? It's not necessarily even Mama Turtle. No, it has to be. Now with that reserve. Yeah. I was thinking that it could have been, like Beach and Watering Hole. Oh, and 64-bit Link not getting that's really rough. Your MST there, you don't want to jump before this. It didn't end up hurting him, but you want as little momentum going into that door as possible to... In 64-bit Link, this is just super rough, trying to get on Mama Turtle without getting hit. Yeah, just takes a death. Shy Guy jumping a little bit too late on their jump. Not fully morphed, so not going to be able to spring ball jump here. Well, I hope you guys enjoy seeing pain, because I think we're going to be seeing a lot of pain. Shy Guy? Oh, he's just resetting the room. That's really smart. I think that 64-bit Link should not have tried to do that. Taking a hit from one of those crabs is, I'll say, ill-advised. And there is the power bomb, so... Yeah, that's crazy. And 64-bit Link almost falling through that door without, well, he did fall through that door and didn't get that. So... he's probably gonna think for a little while, get down here, and then come to the conclusion that that's the only item left available to him. Oh no! 64-bit Link hasn't checked Spore Spawn. I forgot. He probably thinks this is Spore Spawn. So he's gonna go all the way back to Green Brinstar, fight Spore Spawn, find this only missiles, and then have to come all the way back here. That is super rough. But anyway, Shy Guy will get to progress through the game now, so we'll see what happens on his side. Probably will end up heading back into Green Brinstar. Not a whole lot else to do. Maybe he could decide to go into Criteria again instead. You know that the tube entrance is Criteria at this point. I'm kind of hoping 64-bit Link actually doesn't save before Spore Spawn, because his other save is better than this one, if it's not there. And Shy Guy didn't check... Okay. I didn't notice that Shy Guy didn't check this before committing to Meridia. But it worked out for him, so... They don't have access to early supers. They only have access to the back half of Green Brinstar because this is Area Rando, and all of the entrances that they were given were back half of Green Brinstar. Shy Guy taking this energy refill. Not a bad idea when on 17 energy, even with the reserve. Nice damage boost there. Now, it looks like Shy Guy might be heading back into Criteria. We'll see if he just sees where this transition goes or if he decides to continue on in Criteria. There are 2 majors left there. With this one, I would probably just head back. You don't want to go through that one. On 64-bit Link's side, we have a dead Spore Spawn. And you don't want to morph and unmorph in this room when you're falling, because that slows your fall speed. And there is Varia at Charge Beam. So that's a pretty big find for Shy Guy. At this point, the faster the seed is, the better it is for Shy Guy. Because he has that early lead. He wants to try to... Basically, the more linear it is, the harder it is for 64-bit Link to make up time. And we'll see what's at Wave Gate now. And it is charged, so... 2 of the most important items right here in Big Pink. (64-bit Link being very careful with these space pirates underwater. Do a lot of damage. Manages to dodge the French fry again. Kind of funny that the 2 items available to the runners at this point are both reserves. And Plasma, wow. So Big Pink just has everything. We'll see if Gravity is at, if Gravity is at, Brinstar Reserve to complete just getting everything in Dream Brinstar. I think 64-bit Link probably saw those power bombs there. Oh no, and he fell. Get on it, get on it. Yeah, there you go, 64-bit Link. Now you got it. Just, yeah. I think 64-bit Link doesn't realize that you can just aim down when you're up against the wall and get that item. Just a E-Tank at Brinstar Reserve, but a welcome E-Tank with 0. Yeah, it's also unfortunate that 64-bit Link messed up the morph-unmorph on the left door the first time. So now he keeps going through this right door, which is quite a bit slower. And we find Rex ship. Next to Terminator. hence Phaser. Shy Guy impressively not running into it, as I would have just kept running at that point. Yeah, that's how a lot of these seeds end up, where only one part of them is complicated at all, and everything else is really easy. .64-bit Link still trying to get this power bomb. I think he's trying to shoot the block on the way up, so that he can get it back on the way down. And there you go. Now he's got it. I'm hoping that he rides Mama Turtle back up and jumps over to the left, because if he goes right now, hopefully he'll be able to beat Mama Turtle over. And he does, so he's fine. The space pirates are going to be pretty rough, though. With the reserve, he can probably take one hit, as long as it doesn't double hit him. But still a very scary situation. And this one's really hard to avoid. There is X-Ray in Gauntlet, which is actually pretty welcome. Fine for Shy Guy already having charge of Plasma. Oh, and Spring Ball jumping. I actually like this a lot for 64-bit Link. This is a lot safer. Just needs to not get hit by the fish on the way back down. And we're up to 3 Power Bomb packs now for Shy Guy, so that's probably the last miner he's even going to worry about checking. Already having charge of Plasma and 3 Power Bomb packs. And just power bombing the fish, which I don't mind. I think this fish on the bottom doesn't move while it's off screen, so it should still be on the right side. But I could be wrong about that, and I don't think that killed it. Yeah, it didn't kill it. Almost took Link out, but that reserve tank saved him. Needs the PB to double hit to kill the fish. And Link is out, so now he should be fine. And we get to see what's at Phantoon. It is Dragon, so it's the one boss that Shy Guy can't kill. Although it looks like I don't mind this. If it were a slower kill, I would really just want to reset. But with it being an extra pay kill, this is a lot better. I've had that ice crab hole seed before. Except that was full area, not light area. But I've had a seed where that was forced before. And Dragon down for Shy Guy. Just an E-tank, so won't be able to escape. I guess he could have, if he knew how to double springboard jump. But not gonna worry about that. Yeah, Dragon's really nice when you have a Crystal Flash available. Although you kind of need to set up for it, and it's not the easiest to set up for in the room. Because Dragon does so much damage, and you need to get under 50, that if you're at a weird at a weird amount of energy, it's going to be really hard to damage down enough to get the Crystal Flash off. Shy Guy continuing to remember not to get that reserve tank. And 64-bit Link picking up that Varia suit. And I said reserve tank, I meant Spacer, I think, but either way. .64-bit Link going for the high jump setup for this gate glitch. You can also do it with high jump, but generally people prefer the other setup with high jump where you just jump instead of jumping out of the door. And I'm not really sure where Shy Guy is going here. Yeah, this is the way back to Red Tower. That makes sense. Way better than going back all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, this makes perfect sense. And is Norfair forced on this? Is this in logic, really? Huh. What, we've seen one... No, Gauntlet. No, he went to Gauntlet. Is one E-Tank 2 reserve in logic for Norfair here? Didn't miss an item, did we? Oh yeah, we have Varia. I'm looking at these two pallets, and neither of them are orange, so cut me some slack. Like, I mean, look at Shy Guy. He looks like he's in the most power of power suits, but anyway, we'll get to see what's at Bubble Mountain now on Shy Guy's side. Given that, I think that it's pretty likely that 64-bit Link just decides to go into Norfair right after this. We'll see, though. And another E-Tank at Norfair Reserve. Yeah, criteria really didn't pay off for Shy Guy, so if Link can avoid that, even though there's X-Ray there, X-Ray is nice, might save like 20 seconds or something on the Dragon fight, but not really worth going back to criteria for. Oh, there's Ice Beam. Ice Beam's really nice to find. At this point, Baboon... Yeah, Baboon has to be in Logic at this point. Because we definitely have the front end of, East Meridia... Or no, we don't, necessarily. We would still need Grapple to have access to one half of East Meridia. But if the front half of East Meridia is on the back half of our ship, then logically we do have access to Baboon. And it looks like Link is going into Norfair, so he'll be making up a lot of time on Shy Guy with this. Shy Guy will have more information and X-Ray. So Shy Guy is still ahead here, but this will save a lot of time. In Area Rando, yeah, Ice and High Jump is basically all you need for Baboon access, because Snail Climb isn't Logic. Without Area Rando, it would normally also require, Grapple. And here's Kraid. Shy Guy doesn't really need to save, because he knows that this can't be Dragon, and Dragon is the one boss he can't beat. So he'll definitely be able to take out this boss. And it's vanilla, so you'll even get the Kraid E-Tank item out of this. It's the nice Kraid quick kill. And that's speed. It's a really big find. Has basically everything except Gravity Suit at this point that you could want. Really good beam combo, really good movement. Just needs that Gravity Suit. And there's Screw attacks. That'll make Lord Norfair much easier too. Lord Norfair with just Various Suit is actually pretty tough. Because all the enemies do 100 damage, but with Screw Attack that makes it pretty easy. Before Link will get a little bit of an edge on Shy Guy because he goes to speed after getting speed, which will save him a little bit of time, but it's honestly not very much at all. Saves a couple of seconds. 64-bit Link farming up a bit, in case this is Ridley. And there's Croc, and Shy Guy decides, nope, I don't want anything to do with Croc. Oh, but he decides, yes I do. And I like checking proc here. With Charge Plasma, it's a pretty quick fight. Getting the first item is really fast. And then while you're here, I like getting the second item too. Unless you find gravity, in which case you can just go. And it's Wave Beam, so now Shy Guy has full beam combo. He has found all 5 beams as well. And 64-bit Link missing that great quick kill. Gonna take out Crave with just a couple of charge shots here. Gotta get posing in front of those spikes. And we'll get to see what's at grapple. I think best case scenario for Link is kind of skipping Croc. Just running through. Oh, but there's grapple. So this is interesting. I don't know how familiar with Suitless Shy Guy is. But that's go mode. If you're really comfortable with Suitless, that's just take that and go. If you're less comfortable with Suitless, then I'd imagine you just check everything anyway. But and it also depends on what you think your opponent's gonna do too. Like you might think, yeah, I can do Suitless, but it's probably pretty slow, and I might lose to my opponent if they find gravity, so you might just want to check everything anyway. The problem is, gravity can be in wreck ship still. Like, Phantoon could be at Lower Norfair, and then wreck ship could just be like half gravity. So I would probably prefer just going Suitless here, but that's only if you're comfortable with it. And Shy Guy picking up another E-Tank. I like still picking up E-Tanks here. 64-bit Link getting that Ice Beam at speed. I'm curious if either of the runners, I think that we know both ends of Lower Norfair are on, are right next to each other at this point. And I'm curious if either runner is going to decide to go through the front end of Lower Norfair so that they can get that screw attack item on the way. I think I prefer going through the back, just because you get all of the checks and get to do the boss basically at the same time, where you're losing quite a bit of time, like on the optimal route, if you go through the front. That's a play that you can make if you feel behind, too. Like, if you feel like I need to make some time up on my opponent. I'll see if 64-bit Link goes to Croc. He doesn't know it's Croc, so... But he is skipping that transition. And I think overall that's probably good for him. If gravity's a more Warfare, like Gravity Beam really doesn't matter. Although, if Gravity isn't more Warfare, Shy Guy's just ahead. Like, there's no real way to say that he's not at that point. But at the same time, if Gravity's not in War Warfare, then I think 64-bit Link is going to be checking crop and losing more time. I think best case scenario for 64-bit Link is something like Shy Guy misses Gravity at Screw, and 64-bit Link checks it. Getting that energy tank at Ice Beam. Another little place where Shy Guy has an edge is that he doesn't need to save before bosses anymore, but 64-bit Link does. Because 64-bit Link doesn't know where Dragon is. So any boss could be Dragon for him, but for Shy Guy, he knows that Dragon isn't behind any boss door other than the wreck ship one. Yeah, that spark a little bit too far to the right there for Shy Guy. Finish off that pirate. .64-bit Link finds the front end of War Warfare and backs out of it. And it is Fantoon, so this opens up a lot of possibilities. If it were Ridley, that would mean that there were very few places where Gravity Suit could be. But because it's Fantoon, now it can be in Wreck Ship in addition to Screw Attack, it could be a Hot Wound. And it could be a Waterway. .64-bit Link finding that E-Tank at Firefleas, picking it up. And we're gonna have a high five pretty soon between these runners. One of them going down and one of them coming up through War Warfare. Yeah, we could see that cool gravity jump with Ridley at Meridia. If you have speed, you can actually... Oh, and interesting, 64-bit Link looks like it's going to Screw Attack first before checking the boss. Probably fearing that Dragon is at the boss and that Gravity is at Screw Attack, and that he could save time by going and checking this first. if you have Suitless Meridia, but you don't have Way Out of Precious Room, but you do have Speed, so basically if you have Ice, Grapple, High Jump, and Speed, you can get out of 3 of the 4 bosses. You just can't get out of Phantoon. With Dragon, with Kraid, you can store a Spark. With Dragon, you can do the RBO kill. And with Ridley, you can do a gravity jump to get out. Yeah, I think that going the other direction would have been fine. I actually don't mind this anyway, because this way you get Fire Fleas. And Fire Fleas is super fast, and if it's gravity, then you can just go. And then you can kind of decide whether you want to come over here or not. If there weren't any item on the way, then I think that, yeah, going the other way would have been better, though. And a space jump, so that's nice, but it's not gravity. So it seems pretty likely that either, well, it could still be a Waterway. So Waterway, Wreck Ship, or Baboon are the remaining locations. Kind of funny, normally you would think Amaturtle would be a location that could have gravity, but both of these runners had to check it so early that it's already crossed off the list. Yeah, I would have reset that space jump, I think. If you're planning on doing Suitless Meridia, it gets a lot closer, but I still don't think it's worth it even then. Oof, and 64-bit Link losing that space jump. But gets back out of the acid. And it looks like we're seeing a Baboon check from Shy Guy. We'll see if this is the front half or the back half of East Meridia. Space jump was at Screw Attack. And 64-bit Link not taking a save does not care about that Screw Attack if this, or that space jump if this is Dragon. It'll reset right out of there. Or maybe he's planning on doing the Crystal Flash kill. Or getting a CF Stute from Dragon. I like this from Shy Guy a lot if he's planning on going full Suitless. And even if he's not, I still think this is a fine decision. Getting to microwave the snake. And we'll get to see what's behind Baboon. Is it the gravity suit? It is not. It is an E-Tank. So gravity suit is either in Wreck Ship or at Waterway. We'll see if Shy Guy continues through this. Yeah, I actually don't think this is that difficult. Like, when you have Spring Ball, doing full suitless, especially when the boss isn't Dragon, isn't that bad. The Dragon escape, I think, is the hardest part of suitless. So, even if you need gravity for Dragon escape, I kind of like this. Because you can kill the boss here, and then go to Wreck Shift and get your gravity, and then kill Dragon in Wreck Ship. Although, it seems to me like Shy Guy probably knows how to do grapple escape from Dragon. Those are some nice grapple jumps from Shy Guy. Pretty tough to do when you have that small of a grapple jump. And we've got Ridley at Dragon, so we'll see how Shy Guy handles that. This will be a full beam Ridley. Shouldn't have too much issue with it. I don't really expect that we'll see even the item behind Ridley, because the only thing it could be for Shy Guy at this point is Space Jump. And I don't think it's really worth a check just for that. And Ridley down for Shy Guy. And yep, looks like he is not going to be checking the item. It doesn't look like he's going to do the gravity jump either, which is a little unfortunate. But that gravity jump's pretty tricky. And I'm kind of curious what way Shy Guy will go through Meridia. I think he'll probably exit through the front, but there's some kind of an argument to exiting through the back, because it takes you right into Wreck Ship, even though it takes you into the bad half of Wreck Ship. So I think going through the front is probably just better. And we'll see if 64-bit Link decides to go to Croc. He knows where it is now, but he could decide to skip it. But nope, he's going to go check it. So we'll be finding his wave and his grapple beam. Looks like Shy Guy will be grapple jumping to get to the top here and then power bombing his way down. Meanwhile, 64-bit Link dancing with Croc. Dancing Brian to the acid. And picking up that wave beam. Ooh, and Shy Guy just missing that grapple. Gonna take a little bit longer now. Or actually, yeah, he doesn't want to go that way. Wants to go through the crab hole entrance. Because that'll take him closer to both Green Brinstar and, or he's going through this entrance. Never mind. Crab hole entrance would have put him at the bottom of Red Tower instead of at the top. $54-bit Link finding that grapple beam. Might be tempted to do Bot Wound as well. And Shy Guy gets grabbed, but it actually pushes him up onto the ledge. As he freezes the yapping maw. And yep, I think this route makes sense. Going through Green Brinstar. Don't really want to end up at the bottom of Meme Route, so I think this is a lot better than that. Heading over to the left where the Torian entrance normally is to find Wreck Ship. Probably just kill Dragon and head out. Oh, just barely missing that spacer. Looked almost like he was gonna get it. And I doubt that we'll see Shy Guy check any more majors. If he's not comfortable with the Dragon escape, he would, but I think he is. Yeah, he's just gonna go for it. No fear of that Dragon grapple escape. And looking at Sula's stuff, he looked pretty confident in it, so it's not surprising. Those accidentally changed to power bombs instead of supers to destroy these turrets. So now he's just gotta get that grapple escape and head over to Torian. He's going to have a lot of attempts at this grapple escape. Yeah, there you go. Nicely done. With various suit, environmental damage is quartered, so he would not have had much environmental damage. And on top of that, he had a Crystal Flash available as well. And he could have checked Dragon's item, which was very likely an E-Tank. So, he had a lot of attempts at that. "64-bit Link with some nice grapple jumps, working his way into East Meridia. Seems like nobody wants to explore the wreck ship, the Seed. And Shy Guy for the 4th time avoiding that Spazer. Would have been pretty funny if the 4th time was the one that got him. But just gonna head over to Tori. Picking up that super on the way to Torian. Probably not really intentional necessarily, but also not like... You could have jumped to avoid it if you really wanted to. Probably just didn't care enough. And Shy Guy heading into Torian at about 107.52 or so. "64-bit Link heading into Bot Moon. You will be getting the bad news after killing the snake. Yeah, I kind of prefer just using charge shots against Bot Moon, especially with this beam combo. They're a lot easier to hit than supers. And it looks like 64-bit Link will be continuing into East Meridia. Again, not that surprising. You don't have to grapple escape out. Although he doesn't know that he doesn't have to grapple escape out, actually. I guess, even if it's Dragon, that you still potentially could TF suit out instead. Shy Guy just barely missing that baby skip. Unfortunate on that last jump. And 64-bit Link actually has a nicer Meridia because of the space jump. Space jump's really nice in this room when you're suitless. I got going for this down back sub skip. And gets it. Nicely done. That trick's it's not too bad, but it's really, really hard to get consistent. It feels like sometimes it just doesn't want to work. But anyway, MB1 down for Shy Guy. Moving on to MB2. We'll be starting with some supers and then finishing out with 15 turn shots, given he started with 15 supers. And we'll see if he goes for stand-up. Looks like he's not damaged down, so he probably is going for stand-up. Well, don't take too much damage. Ooh. Calculated damaging down there. Pretty sure he did take a save before this anyway. And 64-bit Link has Ridley down now. Checking the item, I'm not sure exactly what he's looking for, but he does 5 bombs, but does not pick them up. I thought I saw him stay with the Tori, but I could be wrong. And 64-bit Link out of Precious Room, moving into Coliseum once again. With Shy Guy moving on to MB3. And we'll be finishing the game shortly. Oh, and 64-bit Link was trying to go through Pack Alley, but without gravity, or without Dragon Dead. You can't do that. Heading towards the ship. And with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 6 seconds, Shy Guy is first place. GG to Shy Guy. see if we can get him in for an interview. It looks like 64-bit Link will be going the way I was talking about before. I don't think he ever found the wreck ship, so doesn't know that it'll lead to the back of wreck ship, not the front. I think gravity was the only item we didn't find this seed. We did find Spacer. We found bombs behind Ridley. X-ray was at Gauntlet. So yeah, I think that it's just gravity. Okay, it looks like we will not be joined by Metroid MS or by Shy Guy for an interview. But we will get to see 64-bit Link finish this out. Oh yeah, X-ray. I did forget about X-ray. X-ray is possible to be gravity. X-ray, waterway, or wreck ship. So we'll see what it is in a second in the credits. Gravity was at waterway, so pretty out of the way check. Although not that bad actually, thinking about it. Actually it is kind of bad, but we'll see if 64-bit Link needs that gravity suit to beat Dragon, or if he just goes in right away. I'm guessing that he'll at least check wreck ship E-Tank. .64-bit Link, it looks like it's trying to just jump up onto this. With space jump, yeah, you can wall jump like that, but you can also just space jump out of the water there. Oh. I thought that that meant that 64-bit Link was just gonna go straight to Dragon, but nope, he is going to be checking this. Finding an E-Tank and leaving it behind. .64-bit Link taking a save. So I'm curious what they're planning, what he's planning with that save. I guess maybe he's just trying to do Dragon like this. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So we'll get to see an attempt at Dragon here. Here's how we'll end up killing Dragon. Charge shots, I think it takes like 8. No, only 7. It takes 7 charge shots to kill Dragon. Looks like we'll see a grapple kill though. Nicely done on that quick grapple. With only Variasuit, not getting that quick grapple can be a little annoying. Because Dragon does a lot of damage to you if you don't get the quick grapple. So again, 64-bit Link will have a lot of attempts at this. We'll see if he's able to get it. Oh, yeah, just barely not far enough to the left there on that attempt. That one, there we go. Nice. Gets it. Now 64-bit Link will be heading into Torian. Yeah, they never checked the other end of Green Brinstar, so they don't know that this is not Torian. I think they did check the Red Brinstar entrance, though, so they should know that, Time Morph isn't Torian. And skips that spacer as well. Nicely done, 64-bit Link. I think he was planning on skipping it even if it were just an energy tank, so... He was going into that room fast and jumping over it. Oh. And did we lose 64-bit Link's stream? Did he end it without ending stream delay? Possibly? Maybe? Oh, no. You still got it. Okay. I was gonna say for a second. Had a few streams where that's happened. But did not happen today. And this is basically a hundo Torian. Doesn't have bombs or gravity, so doesn't get to run through the acid, but has everything else. I guess doesn't have X-ray too. And he gets grabbed by a Metroid, unfortunate, because he did not grab those bombs. So he cannot get the Metroid unattached to himself, except by laying 3 power bombs to kill it. And looks like we'll get to see another baby skip attempt. We'll see if we get first successful one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, getting right to the left of that pillar is really difficult because you can't run backwards anymore. And you need to be able to run backwards to get baby skip. Refills at the energy refill. I guess he could have done a crystal flash, but that would have been pretty risky. Has 2 full reserves, so would have been a lot harder to crystal flash than just without any reserves. And we'll get to see another attempt at this down back sub skip. And that looks good, yeah, that looked good. Nicely done. And maybe the baby Metroid stole gravity suit from Samus this seed. Get to see a 20-shot Mother Brain fight. And no fear of messing up stand-up, as 64-bit Link only has 60 tanks, so can't even do it. Does need to be a little bit careful not to get catch-up, as catch-up could do up to 400 damage if he gets double hit. But he doesn't, and he makes it through. At the beginning of the seed was pretty rough for 64-bit Link, not being able to get those power bombs for a while, having trouble with the Mama Turtle. And then after that, just lost a good amount of time on movement, basically. I think he was probably like 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes behind at the beginning, and just lost a good bit more of that on movement as the race went on, but I think these runners did pretty similar routes. Actually, MST even checked a couple more things. MST or Shy Guy checked Gauntlet and Terminator, where 64-bit Link did not, and Shy Guy fought Dragon at the very beginning, or attempted to fight Dragon, and had to reset out of that. Having a little bit of trouble with that moonfall at the end, but gets it. Just going for the right side spark. I like the safety in this case where you don't have gravity suit to try to spark up again if you miss it. And we are going to be saving the animals. Or will we be? I think that 64-bit Link does, yeah. Yep, we are going to. Not just taunting them, so. For all the animal lovers out there. And with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour 33 minutes and 34 seconds, 64-bit Link has finished in second place. GG. Okay, it looks like we will be getting 64-bit Link in for an interview. And we are joined by 64-bit Link. GG.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that seed?
I was not super happy about that late power bomb location.
Yeah, that one's pretty rough.
Yeah, because in all my practice, I didn't wind up ever having a power bomb location, or that particular first power bomb location. I think at once in practice I had it on the crab supers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that one, yeah, I just didn't really have a strat for, so I just had to keep banging my head at it until I got
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, if you jump over that power bomb and you just hug the wall and you aim down and you shoot, and then you continue to hug the wall, you can just get it like that.
Yeah, which is what I was kind of trying. It was just my jump was landing was just a bit short of landing on that upper part of the upper part of the wall.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, after that, it was still a pretty slow seed. Somewhat slow, I guess, because pretty much everything you needed was in Green Print Star. Like, not everything, but like you had Charge, you had Plasma, you had Varia. A lot of like the stuff that you would really want was there. And then like Speed was basically like pretty free at Kraid as well. Getting the Grapple and the Ice, I guess, was a little bit out of the way at Croc and at Speed. But yeah, Gravity ended up being at Waterway, so that would have been pretty out of the way to go end up getting.
Yeah. And yeah, I was basically looking for either that Gravity or the Grapple.
Mhm.
So once I found the Grapple, I was like, okay, go mode.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just when I found the space jump, I was like, I was like, this is probably like the one, like, I was like debating, like, do I keep this? And I ultimately was like, the reason I kept it was just because it made like getting to like vanilla Dragon room easier. Because I didn't have to deal with grappling through that room RBO style and risk missing a grapple and falling into the spikes.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I was talking about it and I talked about, yeah, I think that was the reason, if you were going to keep it. Yeah. I think that was the one item that you checked that MS, or that Shy Guy didn't. So, had that ended up being Gravity, I think that would have been... I think it would have ended up being pretty close, but... not sure which way it would have gone, but yeah. So you're 1-1 now. Moving on to week 3. What do you think about the Chozo Boss randomizer format?
I mean, I've always liked Chozo as a format, so that should be kind of fun. It's kind of a revisit of League Season 2. So that'll be just interesting.
Yeah, I think Chozo is really interesting. Really makes you think in a different way than most other randomizers do, where you really have to be thinking about the logic. Most other randomizers, you don't really have to worry too much about the logic, but in Chozo it can be super important, because you can figure out, like, oh, like, a power bomb needs to be a Crocomire, so I really, really shouldn't kill Crocomire, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, so... very different randomizer experience, and I think one that definitely rewards a lot of practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess any final thoughts on the seed?
Yeah, yeah, I guess it'll just be. I'm glad to put these late PB seeds behind me for at least like Chozo week, and then they'll probably be back with a vengeance.
Well, you never know with Chozo. I've seen first PBs at Croc, and actually first PBs at Croc, like no other PBs available.
Yeah, but at least like they're not going to be at some awful minor item location. So it's like, I guess it's kind of the give and take there.
Yeah, that is true. But anyway, I think that'll do it from us. Thanks to 64-Bit Link and Shy Guy for running. Thank you to Mizraim for tracking. And follow the runners, follow Mizraim. You can follow me as well, if you would like. And with that, we will see you next mission.
All right, so another race, another win. I move on to the 2-0 portion of the Swiss bracket for round 3. Overall, still not entirely pleased with this. Like, this was 20 minutes faster than my first race. Obviously a different seed, and that's obviously going to change things, but 1:15, still not a time that I think is going to be very competitive with most of the field. And 64-bit Link, unfortunately for him, he had trouble early on with the power bombs, and I think that's really what gave me the lead that I ended up getting, was basically from those power bombs. And I think I might have committed just a little bit earlier to doing suitless than he did as well. Yeah, if you were watching, you heard Zeb kind of talk about the situations and all, where 64-bit Link could have skipped Croc and saved a lot of time. He skipped Criteria and basically caught up just on that one skip with me earlier on. And yeah, so things like that in the race, like you can never count on your opponent doing something like that. Having trouble with getting power bombs in Mama Turtle Room. And also I want to mention light area. Look at what it forced us to do. We had to get power bombs out of Mama Turtle Room suitless. That was definitely something. I grabbed an accidental trash tank. That definitely did not pay off at all. I did nothing later in the run. Almost cost me the race right there on that stupid trash tank. But yeah, getting through the first 2 weeks, 2-0, feel really good about that. Like I was more confident with this race, and I think it kind of showed my execution was, I think, far superior than my first one. Still issues with my routing. Like, I watched this back. Generally, I watch all my races back to see what I did wrong or what maybe my opponent did. Generally, I'm watching for me. See what, and I generally watch pretty quickly after the race because I want to know, I know more what I was thinking right then. And so when I watch it back, I want to see, what was I thinking and what could I have done differently? Like, what would have made sense that would have potentially saved me time? That's kind of my philosophy with watching this stuff back. I'm not too worried about my opponent because, for the most part, my opponents are going to destroy me in execution anyway. I mean, like, there's the fix for that. It's called practice, get good. Like, that's the solution. And since I'm not really doing that, I'm more interested to see, what was my situation? What options were available? Did I just not think of something? Did I think of something and not commit to something? I think you saw, eventually I had some plan laid out. So when I found the front entrance of Lower Norfolk, I noped right out. I knew where the back entrance was just across the way. It's like, I'm going here. I'll check Fire Fleas. Depending on the boss, if it's Ridley, I would have checked Ridley behind Ridley. But it wasn't Ridley, it was Fantoon. So at that point, like Zeb said in the commentary, Waterway or Wreck Ship was Gravity Suit. And it's like, I guess, and Botswoon. It's like, at that point, no, it's Botswoon or I'm going suitless. That's the answer right there. I got that grapple out of Croc. And that grapple did put me in go mode. I was still doing those other checks. Like, I checked high jump. I checked Fire Fleas. Like, I did those specifically because if I was in go mode, and if I just called myself go mode, it didn't check those, which are relatively quick checks. Like, if I skipped, like, say, high jump, and gravity was there, 64-bit Link gets gravity. He's in go mode. My time save from skipping high jump is not going to make up it. It's not going to make up the difference for me doing suitless versus, Link doing it with gravity suit. Like, it's just not going to make up that difference. So that's why I checked those quicker ones. If gravity's there, and I checked ice. That's right. So if gravity was there, I've got it. That's more of a defense against my opponent. Not to kind of throw and give them a big advantage on a relatively quick check, or one of these relatively quick checks. So that's kind of why I checked those, even though I was, I already considered myself in go mode with that grapple at Crocodile. But yeah, 2 weeks in, got some suitless. I think overall definitely saw a better performance, but again, hour 15, not a great time. That is not a great time for this. So still very happy. 2 wins, no losses so far. We'll see you for the next week, the third round of the Super Metroid Multicat Tournament, where the logic changes yet again, and this time it's going to worry me.